Howdy all, lovely to see you all again. Sorry it's been a busy couple of weeks with engagement parties and toilet fixing and sledgehammering of showers. I am back and badder than ever with a very, very cut middle finger. Today we're going to be looking at the classic solo from The Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. It's a pretty win. Let's take a look.
It's always there, the evil face.
Alright guys, let's take a look at the first section. I want to start off with a hammer on from 10 to 13 on the first string, and then I pull off back to the 10. And then I want to play 11, 10 on the second. So all together. At the end of that, I do a bend on 11 of the second string with my middle finger. As you can see, I've got the band-aids. I'm doing the best I can given my physical circumstances. And then when we bring the bend down, I want to do a hammer on into a pull off. I'm going to play 10, 11, back to the 10 again, and then hammer on to the 11. So I guess in a way we want two hammer-ons to 11 from the 10, and then we want to end on the 10. So there should be 5 notes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I want to slide that 10 back to 8, and then I'm going to hammer on to 10th fret of the second string 3 times. So to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And I do a similar idea where I slide back from 8 to 6, and then I want to do 3 hammer-ons from 6 to 8th fret. And we're doing pretty much all of this in one pick. So we've got after the bend, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. After the third hammer-on and pull off on the 6, 8 part over here, I slide backwards to 5 on the second string. At the end of that, I just want to hit 5 again as a regular note. So it'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, slide, and then an extra pick there. So let's have a look at the first half of this section, and then we'll put the second half with it as well, and then put it all together. Hopefully that's making sense. I've got like a mini sweep here. I want to do a flat finger on 10th fret of the second string and rolling to 10th fret of the first. And then I've got a hammer into a pull off there. So as soon as I end that sweep, I'm going to hammer to 12, not 20, 12, and then pull off to the 10, sort of go. So at the end of that slide, straight to that flat fingered sweep, and then we work into the next chunk. So after I've done that pull off, I want to hammer back to 12 and pull off to the 10. We're going to do 3 of those. And then I bring my ring finger over, or whatever finger you want, to 13th fret of the first string. We're going to do hammers into pull-offs, and I want to do 5 13s. So when I'm playing this, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think of it as a 3 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after that, I want to go back to the 12 to 10 idea again, and I'm going to do that 4 times. And we're just carrying this all from that initial pick. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a lot of counting, but hopefully that makes sense. I'll play it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. To finish that off, I've got 2 hammer-on pull-offs from 13, again, back to 10, and then I've got a big bend. I do that on 13th fret up, and then hit it again at the top of the vibrato. And then I just want to do 1 cheeky 10th fret to lead into the start of the next section. So I go, and they'll end there. So after we've done all that hammer-on business, we'll have the 2 bends, and then just that single note that'll lead us into the next section. So I'll do it slowly, and then we'll do it again with some tabs, and hopefully that cheeky little extra note will make sense. Let's try it all relatively slowly from the start. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. One more time with some tabs. Okay, so the second section is going to start off with a lot of hammer-ons, similarly to the ones that we saw in the first section. I want to start off by playing a pull-off from 13 to 10, and we're going to do 3 of these all from the one pick. So 1, 2, 3, and I slide back to 8, and we're going to hammer on to 10, and I want to do 5 of these. So I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now the next bit I want to do a hammer-on from 6 to 8, pulling off to 6 and back to 8 again. So we're going to have 2 little hammer-ons there. I do the same thing, but from 5 to 6, so I do 2 hammer-ons with pull-offs. And then what I have here is the same kind of idea. I'm going 3, 5, 3, 5 on the first string. So all together, we're going to have 3 pull-offs at the start, and then we're going to have 5 hammer-ons, 2 hammer-ons, 2 hammer-ons, 2 hammer-ons. I'll play that again. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then I work back to first fret and I work into this phrase. What I'm doing here is a hammer on into a pull off. 1, 3, 1 on the first string. Then I pull off to an open note and then hammer back to the 1. So it's going to go 1, 3, 1, open, 1, open. You do that all in one pick. And then after that, I've got to pull off from 3 to 1 on the second string, and then I want to get over to 5 of the fourth, and get a bit of a bendy vibrato happening. So that last little chunk. Alright, let's take it from the start of the section thus far, and then we'll add the second half to it. Hopefully that's all making sense. And then I've got, what I'm doing here is I'm sliding from 12 to 14 with my middle finger on the third string. And then I want to do a hammer on into a pull off from 13 to 15 back to 13 on the second. Okay, then after that I want to do a hammer on straight forward. So it'll go, what I do from there, it'll go, is the same phrase twice. What I'm doing here is a hammer on the first string, going 12, 13, pulling off back to 12, and then I jump to 15 of the second string. And I want to do this idea twice. So we're going to go, hopefully that's all making sense. One more time at a gentlemanly speed. Okay, to finish that off, I go, so what I do here is I want to play 13 of the first string, and then bend the 15 up, and then I want to bring it down. So I want to play it on the bend up, hit it at the top, bring it down, and then jump back to 13. At the end of that, I want to do a bend on 20 of the first string. So, that last bit again. And then we slide off into oblivion. So let's put the whole section together relatively slowly, and then we'll do it again with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, so the third section isn't really a solo per se, but it is a pretty cool fill that sort of joins the two solos together. So I wanted to go over it anyway. Alas, let's start from 7th fret of the 4th string. I'm going to play sort of a rounded A minor pentatonic. I'm doing a flat ring rolling from the 7th fret of the 4th to 7th fret of the 3rd. And I come back to 7th fret of the 4th and then jump to 5 of the 3rd. Okay, so after that, I want to play 7-5 on the 4th string and then jump to 7 of the 5th. So I'm going to add those 3 notes now to the equation. Hopefully that's all making sense. I want to add 4 more notes now, and this is kind of where we'll see some of the sort of more A minor pentatonic-y colours. I'm playing 5 of the 4th string and then 7-6-5 on the 5th. Hopefully that's all making sense. And then I go to a power chord on 3rd fret of the 5th string, and I do 3 strums on this. And then I'm going to do a power chord on the 1st fret of the 5th string as well. That one's only once. Now whether you want to downpick all of it or do the alternate is up to you. I like the alternate strum because I think it just has a smidge more vibe, but that's just me personally. So the next thing that we follow it up with is this. This next little mini riff is exactly the same as what we had between 5 and 7. We're just doing it on the 1st and the 3rd frets now. So let's go over it slowly and you will see the similarities. I'm going from the 3rd fret of the 4th to 3rd fret of the 3rd, then up to 3rd fret of the 4th again to 1st fret of the 3rd. Okay, then after that, I'm going to go 3-1 on the 4th and then 3 of the 5th. And then the last 4 notes will look very, very similar. I'm playing the 1st fret of the 4th string and then 3-2-1 on the 5th. At the end of that, we're doing what we did before, but now the power chord's leading from the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and then I'm ending on the 1st fret of the 6th string. So that last chunk, at the end of that, I'm going to add 3 more power chords. So I'm going to go from 3 to 5 and then to 8. Let's put it together relatively slowly and then we'll do it again with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, let's have a look at the 4th section. I want to start off by playing a bend on 11 of the 2nd string, and then 2 cheeky notes on 8 of the 1st string. I'm going to repeat that phrase 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. At the end of that, I'm going to do a delicious bend on the 11th fret again. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, bend. And then I work down the pentatonic with this lick. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing the slide bend as that kind of chord thing. What I'm doing there is playing a flat finger on 10 of the 2nd and the 3rd string. I'm doing a slight sort of tweak there with that chord, and then I work down the pentatonic. I also involve the blue note. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play 12-10 on the 4th, and then 12-11-10 on the 5th. So we go. A bit of muting as well does give it a little bit more aggression and vibe. At the end of that, I've got a little bit of bendy vibrato on 12 of the 3rd. Okay, and we work into the next phrase after that. So let's have a look at what we've got thus far, and then we'll add to it. Okay, at the end of that, I want to do a hammer on from 10 to 13 on the 2nd string. And then I'm going to do a bend on 13 of the 2nd string, and then play 10 of the 1st. So I'm going to do the hammer on, and then the bend, and then jump to 10 of the 1st string. And I want to do that little bend idea. I'll do that twice in a row. So I'm going to do the hammer on. Hopefully that's making sense. After that, we're going to go into this lick. That's all around the D minor pentatonic. So the start of that one was a pull off from 13 to 10 on the first and the second string, and then I jumped to 12 of the third. So it's nice and simple down the D minor pentatonic. And then I've got a single note from 10 of the first, and then I work into some triplets. So I go. So after that 10th fret, I'm going to start working through the triplets. The first triplet is going to go 12, 10 as a pull off on the first string, and then go to 13 of the second. And then we work to this one. What I'm doing here is 10 of the first string and a pull off from 13 to 10 on the second. So back to back. Okay. I'm going to repeat the 13, 10 pull off on the second string, but jump to 12 of the third. So we're going to go. Okay. Then I'm going to do the 13 to 10 pull off on the second string one more time. Then we're going to go straight down the pentatonic and do those little blue note runs. So what I was doing there one more time is 13 to 10 on the second string as a pull off. And then when I'm rolling down the blues pentatonic, I'm playing 13, 12, 10, all in one pick on the third string and resolving that to 12 of the fourth. So I'll go from the triplets now. Okay, at the end of that, I go into this. What I've got here is a big delicious bend from 12 of the second string. It's only a semitone, but I think take your time with it. Bring it down, and then pull off to 10, and then do a nice vibrato on 12 of the third. Okay, at the end of that, we're going to slide from 12 to 17 to get us set up to section 5. So that's the ending. Alright, I'm going to play the whole section from the start, and then we'll do it slowly with some tabs, and then try and destroy section 5. One more time with some tabs. Alright, let's have a look at the last section. I want to do a slight bend on 17 of the third string, and then I want to play 15 to 18 on the second. I'm going to do that little phrase 4 times, but on the 4th time I'm going to do a hammer on. So I'll do it slowly, which is the same thing 4 times with that hammer on the last one. Okay, after we do that, I go into this phrase, which is the same kind of group of 4 notes, that hammer on, pull off, and then the changing strings idea. I do 6 of those in a row. So what I'm doing there is 15, 18, back to 15 is a hammer on into a pull off on the second string, and then jumping to 17 of the third. As I said, we're doing 6 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want to, you can do a forward stroke and then quickly back pick, or you can do both outside in. You could do a back pick. You can do a back pick on the legato, and then when you're changing to the third string, do a down strum. Either work. They're both pretty win. So what I want to do from the start is do the first phrase 4 times, ending on the hammer on, and then do that quick, aggressive legato we bit 6 times. Okay, what I do after that is a hammer on into a pull off. It's just going 15, 18, 15. I'm not changing strings. I'm going 15, 18, 15 is a hammer into a pull off on, and that what I've got there is a bend on 18 of the second string. So hammer into a pull off and then the bend. Okay, after that, I'm going back to 15 of the second string. So it'll go. Hopefully that's making sense. So we'll do it one more time from the top, and then we'll work through the second half. Okay, then we'll work into this phrase. I think it's pretty much the same thing twice. Yeah, it is. So what we're doing here is I'm doing a bend on 18 of the first string, and then I'm pulling off from 17 to 15 on the first string. So I'm doing the bend. 17 to 15 is a pull off on the first, and then I do a pull off from 18 to 15 on the second. So I'll go, and I'm going to do that 2 times in a row. At the end of that, I do another bend from 18, and then I hit 15 on the second string. So we're going to do that little phrase twice, and then the 18 bend and the 15 straight after. Hopefully that's making sense. And then to finish it off, we've just got another little bendy thing and a small kind of arpeggio shape. What I've got here is 20 of the first string. I got 2 bends there, and then I jump to 18 of the second, and then 19 of the third. And that's it. Let's try and do the whole section relatively slowly from the top, and then we'll do it again with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the solo to The Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. I'll catch you real soon.